In the next few weeks, the House of Representatives will start voting on healthcare legislation, and we will soon see if the Republican Party has learned any lessons from their defeat in the 2018 midterms. So far, the answer is a resounding no. Last November, the American people examined the Republican record on healthcare and delivered their verdict by electing a Democratic majority to the U.S. House of Representatives. With the biggest gain since Watergate, healthcare was the #1 issue driving voters to the polls, and those voters overwhelmingly supported Democrats over Republicans. It turns out, House Republican leader Kevin McCarthy agrees. He told his donors the Republican health repeal bill was the defining issue and the most important issue in the race, and he admitted healthcare cost them a majority. Republicans may continue to pretend they care about America's healthcare and repeat their lies from the election cycle, but people won't be fooled. President Trump and Republicans remain committed to dismantling our healthcare through any means possible. No matter that, they say, Republicans are committed to returning to a system where insurance and drug companies call all the shots. We need to judge their actions, not their words. Republicans are still pushing a lawsuit to repeal the entire ACA. In December, a hand-picked, right-wing federal district court judge actually ruled in their favor and said the entire law should be overturned, including its protections for people with pre-existing conditions. President Trump recently cheered on the lawsuit, telling the New York Times enthusiastically that the ACA would be terminated as a result. The Trump administration and Republicans continue to undermine protections for people with pre-existing conditions by pushing short-term junk plans that allow insurance companies to skirt key consumer protections in the Affordable Care Act. This is a backdoor way for insurance companies to discriminate against people with pre-existing conditions and go back to the days when they could deny, drop, or charge more for coverage. The Trump administration even wants to allow federal subsidies to be used for these junk plans. And Republicans continue their attacks on Medicaid. Republican officials in Utah, Nebraska and Idaho are trying to find ways to overturn the will of their voters who voted to approve Medicaid expansion in ballot measures last year. Meanwhile, the Trump administration is pushing states to put onerous requirements on Medicaid and said it is open to block grants for the program, which is a fancy way of allowing states to slash the program and kick people off the rolls. These actions have real consequences for real people, thanks to Republican sabotage efforts. The uninsured rate increased to its highest level since 2014, when the ACA marketplaces first began. It is time to once again stop the GOP war on healthcare and move America forward. So, while the country has a long overdue conversation about the best path to universal coverage, the House is acting now to end the Republican attacks on pre-existing conditions, stop sabotage and lower the costs of healthcare, starting with prescription drugs and surprise bills. America will see if the Republican Party has learned its lesson. I doubt they have. Leslie Dodge is the founder and chair of Protector Care and served as senior counselor to the Secretary of the Department of Health and Human Services during the Obama administration.